Hi, my name is Matthew Perrigino, and I'm the first author of the Work-Family Backlash, The Dark Side of Work-Life Balance Policies paper in this issue of Academy of Management Annals. I just completed my PhD here at the Krannert School of Management at Purdue University, and I'm joined today by my co-authors, Kelly Wilson and Benjamin Dunford. They served on my dissertation committee and helped me get to Elon University, where I will be starting in August. And today we're just going to take a little bit of time to tell you about our paper and highlight the main findings, and we're going to do it in a question and answer format.
All right, Matt, to give the readers some background on our article, what was our initial motivation behind the idea to review work-family backlash?
So one of the things we noticed in our reading of the work-family literature was that work-family backlash was a topic that kind of kept surfacing in very subtle ways in discussion sections in the context of mixed findings. And we thought it was an interesting idea, and the main motivation behind the review was to assess how big of a phenomenon was this in the literature. Was it something that kind of came up every now and then, or was it kind of more of a systematic thing which had yet to fully be addressed? And by finding 164 articles, we felt that it was more on the systematic side that needed to be addressed, which prompted our impetus for undertaking this review.
Right, can you summarize our main findings? What exactly does work-family backlash mean?
So one of the things that we were pressed on by the reviewers was defining this concept of work-family backlash. We looked in the dictionary to understand the term backlash. I think we looked in physics textbooks as well to understand what a recoil effect was. And we ultimately decided that specificity was kind of our enemy, and so we opted for a much broader definition. And what we defined work-family backlash as was a phenomenon that has social elements and dynamic elements and is characterized by negative attitudes, emotions, and behaviors in regard to work-family or work-life balance policies in terms of both their availability and their implementation. One of the interesting things was we found that a bunch of different constructs summarized work-family backlash, but very few studies actually measured a construct of work-family backlash.
Matt, what do you think we accomplished with this review?
So I think we provide balance to the work-family literature. If you think about the work-family interface in terms of how it's been studied from an OB perspective, you have work-family conflict, which has been the dominant paradigm for about 20 or so years until work-family enrichment came to balance it out. So this OB side was characterized by a strong amount of negative perceptions regarding how work and family interface balances each other out, and then the positive perspective came along. If you think about it in terms of the HR perspective, which is what we're trying to address, it's kind of been the opposite. There's always been the business case for work-life balance policies. There's the win-win paradigm of how work-life balance policies will benefit the organizations and the employees as well. And we're certainly not attempting to undermine work-life balance policies or their importance in organizations, but rather to balance out this perspective, understand that there are these hidden downsides, which when work-life balance policies are not implemented correctly, things can go wrong. And so again, we're not trying to undermine these policies, but rather to provide a greater understanding both in terms of research and practice as far as how these pitfalls can be avoided so that policies can be successfully implemented. We would like to thank you for tuning into our video, and we hope that you find our work to be insightful and developmental for your research. And we would also like to acknowledge the great developmental feedback that we received from our editorial team and the anonymous reviewers who helped us in developing this initial idea of work-family backlash into this final product, which is now in Academy of Management Annals.